Hello. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Oinkosala, and it is such a pleasure to have you here. Today, I would like to talk about 4 books that have been a blessing to me on my journey of reclaiming femininity. Ooh, that was a mouthful. On reclaiming femininity, or 4 books that have really helped me gain an understanding of femininity, feminine consciousness, what that looks like, what it actually is. I want to start off by saying we are getting a lot of things in social media, YouTube, just about femininity. I think it's being pushed everywhere as of recent. Which is not, it's a great thing, but I think that a lot of the information that is being pushed out generally focuses on your appearance, right, as a woman. I do want to start off by saying that every living thing has a feminine and a masculine side. We are both blessed. Everybody is blessed with both of these qualities. It is just that if you are in a woman's body, you do tend to lean more on the feminine side of things, whereas if you are in a man's body, you do tend to lean more on your masculine side. But we all have both of those. Every living thing has both sides, both feminine and the masculine. It is needed. So you do need to have some masculine qualities as a woman, and as a man, you do need feminine qualities also. So these 4 books that I'm going to mention, I do have 2 physical books in my hand, and then the other 2 books that I read were on my Kindle, so I will be looking down on the Kindle just so I can get the actual name of the books. So the first book that I would like to talk about is The Goddesses in Everywoman, which is by Jungian analyst by the name of Shinoda Bolen. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing her name right. So in this book, she goes over the 7 feminine archetypes, which I believe that everybody has heard so much about the feminine archetypes. So she goes over these 7 feminine archetypes and how you can cultivate them in yourself if you are lacking, or if you sense that you're lacking these archetypes. She also goes over how one can identify which goddess is most present in her life. She mentions, the author, Dr. Jean, mentions the fact that during our lives and during different seasons, we might have a different goddess being represented. It just depends on where you are in your life. That's a phenomenal book to get started with. I think that from a very young age, most of us have been introduced to mythology, whether it's Greek or in my culture, when I'm Nigerian, I'm Yoruba to be specifically. So we have Yoruba mythologies, which I've been introduced to since I was a very young girl. So it's a very easy way to digest and get a good understanding of female qualities and the different types of female qualities and how they presented themselves in the past, in past civilizations. So that's a great book to start with. The second book that I would like to mention is Sex, Time, and Power: How Women's Sexuality Shaped Human Evolution. This was written by Leonard Shlain. I hope I'm pronouncing these people's name right. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering them. This book was phenomenal. I think it's one of the books that I will have to pick up again and again because I gleaned so much from it. So this book talks about how women pretty much help shape society, how women's sexuality helps shape society. Dr. Leonard, because he is a doctor, talks about how the woman's menstruation gave us the understanding of what time looks like, gave us an understanding, and he also talks about how women, for the most part, were in charge of agriculture, of cultivating medicine, and so we from there we get the medicine woman and how that led up to witchcraft, and what that looks like. This book is amazing. I think that it is a great book for any young adult to read. All the books that I'm mentioning can be read by both male and females, and any other gender that you would like to present yourself as. This is just a phenomenal book. I gained so much from it. I think I'm going to start giving that book specifically as a gift to young women, just because you can gain so much from it. I'm gonna go ahead and put my Kindle down because the other two books are physical books that I have in my hand. The third book is called Knowing Woman. This was written by Dr. Irene Claremont de Castillejo. And she is a Jungian analyst. This book goes into depth about feminine psychology and what that really is. Just a little bit about it. So in this book explores the division of the human psyche into masculine and the feminine. It gives an understanding of the characteristics of feminine consciousness, and also recognizing the unity of all life, which is what I mentioned earlier in the video, that all life has both the masculine and the feminine. So in this book, it gives an understanding of what each side looks like, and then she specifically goes into details about what the feminine consciousness looks like too. It also gives a good, so this book is better at giving an understanding of women's roles within society, but this book goes over it very, very briefly, which is a good introduction to it, but it was too brief for my liking. But I recommend this book just to get an understanding of how the masculine and the feminine is present in all beings, and how they need to work together in order to cultivate life. Our last and final book, book number 4, is The Way of All Women by Esther Hardin. Dr. Esther Hardin is also a Jungian analyst. Most Jungian analysts are specialists when it comes to understanding masculinity and femininity and archetypes, because that is what their aspect of psychology focuses on. So Dr. Hardin's book it's actually acclaimed to be one of the best books on feminine psychology and femininity. So this book discusses, as I had mentioned previously, women's roles within society. So that's motherhood, marriage, old age, relationships with friends, families, what that looks like, relationships with lovers, what that looks like. This book stresses the importance of wholeness for a woman and how that directly reflects on how she presents herself, which is why this book is so thorough when it comes to all aspects of a woman's life. And I think that within this book, she goes from from teenage years up until old age, or up until death. Very, 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 very thorough book. All 4 of these books have been incredibly beneficial in helping me get an understanding of what femininity looks like, what it looks like for me, because as I mentioned earlier, there's 7 archetypes, but those 7 archetypes, there could be more, right? We don't know. That's just somebody's interpretation. There could be more. So there's so many different flavors. There's so many different types, variations of femininity. So these books have really helped me gain an understanding of what femininity will look like to me, what that feels like. So femininity is not just dressing up as a woman. It's not just presenting yourself within your female body in a dress with makeup, with your hair done. Don't get me wrong, all those things are important, because I am a stern believer of when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you're able to present yourself as who you see yourself internally. But femininity is not just that. It's not just having your nails done and your makeup done, your hair done, and showing up that way. Femininity is how you feel and how you relate to that consciousness, how you relate to your body, how you can say time out. I'm in this moment. How can I appreciate this moment? How can I look into this moment? What is this moment providing for me? How am I presenting myself within this moment? And how can I take the lessons that I'm learning into my next season or next chapter of my life? So all 4 of those books have been blessings to me. I hope that you are able to check them out and gain something from them. Let me know if you do read them, if you learn anything from them, what you learned from them. I would love to hear from you guys. But I will catch you in my next video. I will talk to you later. I hope you have a phenomenal day. Please take care of yourself.